Hello everyone. I'm here today to review the props white paper. And this white paper is put out by the company YouNow, and I first heard about this through my work as a senior consultant with CoinFund. So today I'm going to make this little video about the white paper. Specifically, since I've been in crypto for a while, I've read a lot of white papers, so I'm going to highlight a few things that I think are important, and hopefully you find it useful and interesting. So getting right into it, what is this? So Props is an ecosystem for live video sharing. And Props is the currency, the cryptocurrency that's going to be powering this network. And Raize is the application where you're going to be actually streaming video from person to person. And this is all put together by a company called YouNow, who has already has millions of users. YouNow provides live video streaming services currently, kind of like YouTube or Facebook or Periscope. Getting into the paper here, that's got a nice little index here so you can see all the different topics that are covered. Nice little table of contents. Okay, getting into the vision for this. So the current state of affairs today for live video, or most video distributed on the internet, it's a massive market, but most of the value is really flowing to those enterprise companies who facilitate this video, right? So these are your YouTubes or Facebooks, Twitter, if they have that live video streaming. And not a lot of the value that's created by these networks are flowing back to either the users or the curators or the people that are consuming the content. So the vision here is to create a network for live video where all the parties in the network can create value and share that value with each other, and not just have that value flow to the content provider or the person or the company providing the capabilities. And here's a little chart here of all of the different users or the different potential actors in this network, right? So you've got curators, influencers, supporters, content owners, developers, founders, and crypto enthusiasts, and they all have different ways of interacting, and they're all going to get rewarded in this token called props. And that is going to be the primary value exchange here. Getting into a little bit more about the YouNow team. They were founded in 2001, so they've been around for a while. They've already been using digital goods and their own sort of in-app currencies for the last several years, and they've done over $50 million in virtual goods sales. That's something interesting to note. So they have some experience. This isn't cryptocurrencies specifically, but it's digital currencies. 40-person team. It's a good-sized team, and they've got a lot of expertise. A little glossary here to make sure everybody knows what terms mean what. So Props is an ERC20 token. ERC20 tokens are standardized tokens on the Ethereum blockchain that can do different things. Raize is a video application. YouNow is the company. Coins are in-app non-cryptocurrency tokens. Reward systems and partners and these types of things. All right. So for the strategy of how they plan to do this, so it's important to note that video can't be really done on a blockchain, meaning the entire application is not going to be, you can't distribute video on a blockchain, at least not yet, right? So the underlying technology for distributing video is still going to be done on a content distribution network. It's still going to be a very familiar technical solution for delivering video, but then these higher level actions are going to be incentivized using props, okay? They've been working on this for the last 12 months, which is interesting and important to know. They want to grow this network, so creating additional value by adding partners and developers and all kinds of different ways of incentivizing people to come together and share live video. And they're also going to be managed by something called the Props Foundation, which will oversee development. And we'll get more into what that is down further in the paper. So here's a helpful diagram to kind of show some of the dynamics here about the value flows. So you have on top here the Props Foundation, which will have props to give out as certain rewards to different actors. So this would be like apps can be given props, and those props can be distributed to media users into their wallets, and then all the way down to developers. And here it's got some different it says what all these different symbols mean. So you've got digital content flowing in certain directions. You've got payments or value flowing in different directions. You've got code coming out from developers to users for customized experiences. And then you've got these network contributors all kind of bundled together. The timeline here, so they've already been working on this, but I think it's important to note that the open source Raize code is planning to be coming out in 2018, which is not that far away. So there's already been a lot of work done on this, and it's important to note that this is open source. All right, so we're going to incentivize economy powered by props, a two-sided virtual currency market. So that's one side is going to be the cryptocurrency, the other side is going to be these coins. And you had your ERC20 with a fixed supply, and that's something a lot of people are wanting to know usually when it comes to ERC20s. Are they more being created, or are they fixed supply? In this case, we're looking at a fixed supply of props. And mainstream user experiences. So this is interesting too here, right? So we're going to onboard users who don't have knowledge or experience of cryptocurrencies, and that this is critical. So this is designed to be an application where the users don't necessarily know or understand what a cryptocurrency is. They didn't come to this application because of that reason. They're there to do something else, right? So this is going to be something similar to like we all use TCP/IP when we use the internet, but most of us don't know what that protocol actually is. And we don't have to. We can just use the internet, okay? But you are going to need a simple wallet. So here's a couple screenshots of what they would provide these wallets to their users so that they would have a place to store these currencies, which I think is really important because otherwise they wouldn't have any place to put them. They wouldn't know how to use them. It'll all be right there in the app for them so they'll know what they have. And for experienced users, you can use these. You can use your wallets, your normal wallets, because these are ERC20 tokens, right? So crypto enthusiasts, you're already good here. New customers, they're going to have it all built in for them. Okay. Governance. So this is getting back into that foundation part, right? So a lot of the pieces of this network will be decentralized, but there will be some centralization up at the front here. So centralized until decentralized options become feasible or desired, right? The foundation will consider moving to a decentralized government system such as those presented by Aragon and others. So in the beginning, the foundation will have most of the control of how the applications are distributed and who gets what grants for certain things. And then as time goes on and there are more options for decentralized and control, let's say the next step might be, as an example, would be the foundation would have like a board. So initially, maybe it would be all the YouNow folks that would be on the board, and then coming in later, they would filter out of that board. That would be one step towards decentralization as a means of governance. And here's a nice graphic to show how the foundation and the users and the markets all kind of work together. So you've got these in-app purchases, which is sort of like fiat. Well, it is fiat going in, and then the props and how they all kind of mingle around together, and then they kind of converge in these open markets where you can exchange props for whatever else. 40 million registered users. That's a lot. That's more. That's more. Let's take this for an example. If only a quarter of those users actually signed up for Raize and started using it, that would more than double the address space in Ethereum right now. Just to put that in perspective, how big that is. 60,000 in-app currency purchases per day, right? So we're talking at some levels of scale here that Ethereum or any other blockchain really can't handle right now. So a lot of this stuff still does have to be done sort of off-chain. Getting into some of the information about live streaming and where video is headed. This is per hour from China, live streaming being a very profitable means of distributing video and content. Some other indexes about how incentivized, how engaging live video is as opposed to static video. Okay. Many-to-many video, right? So the rule of thumb here is a 1-9-90 rule, which is 1% of users create, 9% curate, and 90% consume. these are all live interactive kind of videos, many to many. So you could potentially have thousands of people in a group together watching either the same content or participating with each other. And the idea here is that these different spaces actually simulate what it's like to be with groups in real life. So this hasn't all been kind of flushed out yet, and there will be lots of opportunity for developers to create different experiences. But the idea here is that it's to simulate in a very high bandwidth situation what happens normally when we get together as humans and talk. Some more interesting information about the video technology itself. So if you're interested in how the tech works, you can go ahead and read through this. It's going to be leveraging some new tools like WebRTC. And here's a little diagram about you got your devices and your media servers and how they all connect to each other over the internet. Getting into the experience, and like I said, I was able to actually demo this Raize app. So at the end of this video, I'll have a little short demo of myself using it with the YouNow team. But I annotated this little screenshot here to show you what the different kind of components are. So this whole thing that we're looking at here is like, it's a space. It's an environment. You've got, in this particular space, you have a stage right here. You've got the kind of the public. So this is a many to one type of thing. We're all watching the same thing. But then you can also have groups inside of this public where these two people, or however many people are in here, can talk to each other about whatever else is going on around. So you can even have like these side conversations about the content that's happening. And in this particular example, it kind of looks like we're looking at like a karaoke or a America's Got Talent type of space where everybody can watch what's going up on stage and they can also talk about it. So you can have your friends down here and the entire, American public up here. Okay, so in addition to props, there are these fiat currencies coins, which are used to perform virtual good transactions and facilitate in-app purchases through Apple's iTunes and Google Play Store. So this is important. So these coins that are going to be facilitating a lot of the interactions or the micro payments and things like that, that's still going to be, you're going to purchase those through like fiat, normal distribution channels, Apple and Play. But then those are going to interact with props. People will get rewarded in props. You can earn props. And in the app there, you'll see your balance, right? So, and then because these are freely tradable fungible tokens, they'll have some real world value as well. So you can exchange them for other goods and services that you might want. So you've got like a marketplace here where you've got fiat coming in, props coming out, and all the interactions in between. Getting into some use cases. For props specifically, what can you use props for besides just buying other things with it? So you can use props in the app to create premium experiences so that you have to have a certain amount of props in order to see a particular type of content. Or status signaling, so you can use this as a sort of a pseudo-reputational system. Or curation, so if you want to say that this is a particularly good video, you can use props to do that. Compensation, obviously, we've talked about that. And then promotion. So this is not like a system devoid of advertising, so attention is still important in this economy, but the means by which you can promote content are still, everybody has the same tokens. So you as a content contributor can advertise. You as a marketer from a third party can advertise, or you can use you as a viewer can say, I really love this thing and I want other people to know about it, so you can promote it. So everybody's a bit on a bit more level playing field here when it comes to advertising and attention. So here, the more valuable engagement a user generates, the more props they will receive. And YouNow has a particularly, they have a lot of experience with this content and with this type of media, so they have a good idea right now about what actions constitute real value. And this is all going to be kind of, sort of automated and created in their system using standard metrics and analytics that they already have. And they kind of go through here in how these things will be distributed, the actual formulas that are going to be used to create and to distribute rewards, which I think is pretty great because you can go in here and mathematically determine what kinds of actions are likely to produce what kinds of outcomes. But like I don't think you need to know the math behind this in order to kind of generally know what to do. I think it'll be pretty self-explanatory when people start interacting with what kinds of actions are going to get them the most most value. Some other things in here about how the app works, access controls, and custom media and user experiences. So here's some use cases that have been proposed by the YouNow team. So you've got like a karaoke app where you've got some live singing and people can give props to the singer, or they can give these emojis or thumbs up or stars, all that kind of stuff. You could watch live sports. That's another thing that happens in real time. That's you can get together with your friends and watch what's happening when you guys are in remote locations. Talent shows like America's Got Talent or some of these other types of TV shows where you could have voting happening at the time of right here, like you see yes and no. Other types of games, social games, auctions. I mean, you could even political discourse, anything that would use something happening in real time as and communicating in real time, right? Talking about the governance, how the foundation is going to be set up, and that YouNow is transitioning from a C Corp to a B Corp. Partner rewards, how those are going to get distributed. Earning partner rewards and grants, and this is talking about how props will be distributed early on to incentivize app developers and that sort of thing. All right, getting into the token distribution of props. So 50% of the props will be reserved for the foundation, and these will all be 100% of these will eventually be distributed to the public. So you can think about this right here as this is all going to go to the public at some point, distributed through rewards. 26% here is going to go to the company founders and employees, 4% to advisors, and 20% here will be distributed in their token generation event. Okay, so that's the mix. So if you look at this, basically 70% will be, 20% will be in the hands of the public immediately, 70% will be put out over time, and then 28% will go to other parties, which will probably filter their way back in at some point anyway. This is the total supply chart over time. This is good to see. This is like the token generation event, and then the distribution of tokens from the foundation over time. So it's a limited release as well. I think they say capped at maximum equivalent to 12.5% of the remaining per annum indefinitely. So that's very predictable kind of growth pattern there. But the foundation may change this if they see fit. So good to remember that. Okay, so the last thing here is just going into some of the team members specifically. And at the end of this paper, you've got the names and short bios of each member of these teams. I'd encourage you to look them up. They're all pretty easily found on the internet, on LinkedIn. It's a great team. I've spoken with a few of these people, and yeah, so that is the props ecosystem in a nutshell. So here we're going to go into a short little demo of the Raize app, and thank you very much for watching.
Let's do this.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? All right, I'm here with the YouNow team, and we're trying out this great app. And as you can see going on here, it's real time, and the video quality is excellent. So I'm going to try and give some points here to Adi. I'm going to click on him, and then I'm going to give him a thumbs up. Excellent.
Woo!
That was pretty great. That's easy. All right, let's see who we have in the audience here. We have quite the audience. I'm going to drag in Gretchen here, see if we can pull her in. Hello, Gretchen. How are you?
Hi, guys. Good. How are you?
Hey.
Excellent.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hi.
Hey, Olivier.
Hey.
Okay, I see and I can see some chat stuff going on here. So I'm guessing that this is this is a pretty dynamic little group we've got going on here. So everybody seems to be, well engaged, and yeah. So we can say, let me see if I could type to somebody here and see if I can. Oh yeah, Mickey. I'm gonna do this. Somebody who's not in the room here. Okay, cool. So let's try something else. Can we go to let's see if we can move to a different room. Can we do that?
Yeah, looks like you're getting a lot of props, Kenny.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if we can go to Adi's room and then meet up there. Does that sound good, everyone?
Great. Awesome. So I'll see you in
right, yes.
Sam's room. My
Let's
room
do
is
it.
Sam.
Sam's gonna hit the back button. And then two. All right,
Yo, Kenny, what's up?
Angel. Hey,
How's it going?
good.
What is that called?
Yeah, we're just here watching a D, aka Sam.
Yeah, this is great. You can
Awesome.
totally have like these side conversations, isn't that? That's pretty cool.
Yes, that's the best part of it. You know what? Why don't we get one more person in here? Let's grab Ali from last time. You met that guy.
Okay.
Let's see if Ali's gonna join us.
Like the speed of light.
Wow, everybody's getting some mad props here.
All right. Why don't we give a D some likes? Let's see if he notices us on the stage. I'm gonna go ahead and give him some cupcakes. Oh, there goes Ali. Yo, Ali.
Hey.
How's it going?
I'm glad Kaylee.
Is
that
also a
you said
potential
it.
customer.
That's my only messaging to the nation. Yeah.
Okay. Candice, you want to give it a go? What's your messaging to the nation?
I don't think I could say it any better than Kevin. Put it that way.
Okay, guys, I'm starting to get a
Kenny, you're back.
picture. An
I'm back.
image here of, politically
Nice.
skewed
So yeah, this is the experience as a viewer. So we can go ahead and give people on stage gifts.
All right.
Maybe we get a shout out from one of them.
Oh, someone's giving me lots of likes.
I'm gonna give some gifts to Sam.
It's gonna translate to a lot of props.
Boom. I can also give gifts to you as well. Alrighty. I think that should be good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna hit the stop button here. Yeah.